Look at the sheer scale of professional cricket today. It operates as a multi-billion-dollar global industry, playing out in massive stadiums. Players at the center of it, like India's Virat Kohli, command a level of individual stardom and intense cultural obsession, rivaling any athlete on Earth. So, who actually engineered this highly structured, technologically advanced machine? Was it designed by a modern corporation, or maybe decreed by a wealthy king? The truth is much stranger. Every meticulously planned tournament traces its roots directly back to a disorganized children's game played in muddy medieval meadows. To find the original players, we have to travel back to the 13th century. In the rural southeastern English counties of Kent and Sussex, local farmers and shepherds needed a way to pass the time. Their game was entirely improvised. Instead of manufactured gear, they grabbed whatever they could find, often thick, curved branches for bats. A ball was simply wrapped clumps of wool or raw leather. The original wicket was just a tree stump in an open field. There were no rule books or governing bodies. The game naturally adapted to whatever open space and crude tools the village workers had lying around. By the 17th century, adults had fully adopted the game, catching the attention of wealthy landowners. These aristocrats began sponsoring their own village teams, which brought high-stakes gambling rings directly into the sport. When large sums of money are on the line, arguments over crude rules become expensive. To settle mounting betting disputes, the first official written laws of cricket were drafted in 1744. A few decades later, in 1787, the Marylebone Cricket Club, or MCC, was founded in London. They stepped in as the strict governing body, standardizing pitch lengths, setting exact bat dimensions, and introducing umpires to enforce play. The influx of aristocratic money and the demand for fair betting were the specific catalysts that pulled cricket out of the village meadows, turning a chaotic children's pastime into a strictly structured, legitimate sport. As the sport formalized, it also began to travel. But this global expansion was a direct byproduct of the British Empire's expanding trade and military routes. Wherever British soldiers, sailors, and colonial administrators settled, they unpacked their bats and balls, inadvertently exporting their culture alongside their cargo. British sailors brought the game to India in the early 1700s. Eventually, the local population adopted it, leading the Parsi community to form the very first Indian cricket club in 1848. A game originally exported as an extension of British colonial influence would eventually be completely mastered and culturally claimed by the very nations they had colonized. Over time, the structure of international play evolved. The grueling 5-day test matches established in 1877 eventually made room for a faster option, the One-Day International, or ODI, introduced in 1971. That shorter format set the stage for a massive turning point in 1983. Against all odds, the Indian team, led by Kapil Dev, secured an underdog victory at the World Cup. That triumphant moment ignited an obsession across the subcontinent, permanently shifting the sport's cultural epicenter to South Asia. To capitalize on this massive new audience, the 2020, or T20, format was introduced in 2003. This hyper-fast 3-hour version was explicitly engineered to maximize television entertainment and commercial value. By showing a willingness to compress its own runtime from 5 days to a single evening, the sport ensured it could survive and thrive in the modern entertainment landscape. The contrast between the past and the present is stark. The curved branches and bare-headed shepherds of the 13th century have been entirely replaced by precisely crafted willow, heavily padded professionals, and pinpoint video tracking technology. Yet, despite the billions of dollars flowing through leagues across more than 100 countries, the core mechanic of hitting a ball past a wooden target remains untouched. It proves that even highly structured global obsessions usually start from the humblest of places, just a group of kids playing in the grass.